starting with the likes. If you want to go out and have a good evening of like having a meal and then watching something that's relatively entertaining, Jurassic World is a good way to go. You got a lot of action, you got a lot of loud noises, a lot of action, a lot of chasing, a lot of dinosaurs just doing dinosaur things. And this movie really captures what it means to be a blockbuster popcorn movie. But that's it for the good things. So let's go into the bad things. What's good, everybody? Welcome to Whole Views. Thank you for clicking the thumbnail. And today we're going to be talking about Jurassic World Dominion. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't so far. Most of the views come from people who aren't subscribed, so we would appreciate it if you would hit that button, hit the alerts, come back and check out more videos talking about some of your favorite movies and TV shows, breaking them down, talking about what we liked and disliked. And let's talk about Jurassic World, because as much as my wife enjoyed it when we went out and had a meal and watched the movie, she enjoyed it. I did not. And I don't consider myself to be a movie critic. I'm more like a fan who gets on here and talks about likes and dislikes. Now, I have studied. I have found a reason to call movies bad when movies are bad, so I can break down all those things, but I still don't consider myself to be a critic. This movie didn't do it for me, and I can give you all the reasons why. I didn't feel any chemistry between my main two stars. That's the first point. You got Chris Pratt, you got Bryce Dallas Howard. They supposed to be in a relationship. It does not come across as them being in a relationship. They seem like two people who are co-parenting, living together. It didn't seem romantic. You have them opposed against the OG Jurassic Park characters, and their chemistry really hit, and the whole idea of like Alan not pursuing like he kind of wanted to deep down, that came across really well, and it kind of made Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard's characters look bad in comparison. Like, you don't want to have this setup going on, and they had it set up, and it just shined a light on how bad their chemistry was to me. Plot-wise, I understand. This is a science fiction dinosaur thrill ride. Like, it's not supposed to make sense in the sense of being logical, but there was too much here that didn't make sense. The introduction of characters that made you feel like they're gonna be a big presence in the movie, like a villain, and they get taken out in like 10 minutes. And this happened at least 2 or 3 times that people were introduced that they might be the worst characters that we meet. No, they're not the worst characters that we meet. We meet more and more, and people keep getting taken out. Doesn't make a lot of sense to set people up one way and then have them exit so unceremoniously is the word I'm thinking of. The biggest complaint that I had, as well as my wife had, and this I think the easiest knock to make on this movie, is the pace is horrible. There's too many stretches of having long chunks of movie with nothing really going on besides some talking and some characters like trying to move their individual stories along. I didn't like it. I didn't like that at all. There's a lot of things that occur, but in between those things that are occurring, there's a lot of talking and a lot of building up to moments that don't feel important ultimately. I did not like that. I feel like the movie as a whole went on for too long, and by the time you get to the end, everything is so telegraphed that you know what's gonna happen. And I'm watching it, and we get to the last 30 minutes, and I lean over to my wife, I'm like, we all know what's finna happen, right? She's like, yeah, the dinosaurs are gonna eat him. And I'm like, yeah, they gonna eat him, and then everybody else is gonna get away. Let's get to it. Like, stop dragging this out with extra dinosaur fights and breaking up the team to go do individual useless things to only come back, get together, and do what we said you were gonna do 15 minutes ago. Like, let's just get to it. And I feel like the movie was kind of dragged out for that reason. A lot of times there were things that were dropped in that was just like, we could do without this. We could just get straight to it. That's the overall feel that I got from the movie. Like, it was all right. You're gonna see a movie, you're gonna have dinner and watch a movie. Like, yeah, this is a decent one to go watch. But there's much better films in the theater, specifically Top Gun Maverick. Talking about my expectations for this movie, I hadn't seen any trailers. Normally, if I don't do a trailer reaction, then I don't watch the trailer. So hadn't seen and did a trailer reaction for Jurassic World. Didn't catch any of the marketing until I saw Top Gun Maverick. That trailer, Jurassic World, played before Top Gun Maverick, and I saw it for the first time, and I said, oh, this looks actually kind of good. And they did a great thing with the marketing here by putting some of the best moments in the trailer. So if you're really excited about going to see this based on the trailers that you saw, trust me, you've seen the most interactive parts of the movie, because there's a lot of parts that's just like, we just doing a thing here. Also, pre-production phone call with the producer. We talked about it, and the biggest thing that stood out to him as well as me, how convenient this movie is. There's a scene in which characters are searching for each other. Like, one is searching for a way out, another one is searching for the other one. And things happen inexplicably. Things happen. Cars flip over and land right in front of the two groups who are pursuing each other. And it's like, that type of stuff happens over and over and over in the movie. They have good moments that you know don't mean anything. So there's a part where a plane looks like the plane's gonna crash. Characters are giving these tearful eye-to-eye connections, almost like a goodbye speech. But you know in your heart, you know it, everybody's gonna live through this crash. And everybody lives through the crash and they get out with like a cut on the cheek or a scratch on the arm, and it's like, no stakes involved. All characters who are here, who mean something, they're gonna survive. And they did. And that was another kind of disappointing thing when it came to the movie. Like, this is the final one in this version of the franchise. We know, because this is gonna make a ton of money. They're gonna do more Jurassic themed movies. But man, you kind of gotta let it rest for a while after this one, as well as come with a story that's just more compelling. Because they did a lot of stuff, a lot of rewriting of characters. There are certain people who were in the earlier ones that here, like, they're good, and in the originals of the last few, they were bad. And it's like, what are we doing? I feel like we're just trying to get that money. And I understand it, as Hollywood want to make money, and they're gonna make money on Jurassic World. But the story wasn't really compelling. Characters, everything that happened to them was way too convenient. A lot of stuff was telegraphed. They build anticipation for what looked like good villains, only for them to be executed unceremoniously. A lot of stuff I didn't like about it, as well as just paced badly and way too long. You could have cut 20 minutes out of this movie and had it a flat 2 hours. You could have cut maybe 30 minutes out of this movie if you kill certain storylines, because certain storylines didn't even go anywhere, or they were there to redeem certain characters that didn't necessarily need redeeming. Let him be bad. He was bad in the last one. Let him be bad in this one. So I don't know. I didn't care for it. How about you? Did you care for it? Because I feel like I could have missed it. That's all I have for this video. Enjoy yourself. Guard your heart. And go watch something good.